Hello everyone, Ace here, and today let's talk about Sony, and how they've recently announced that they will in fact be doing away with physical copies of games altogether. It has been officially announced that this will be taking effect on January the 1st, 2028. And in all honesty, this is absolutely terrible news. But to fully appreciate why, it is important to look at a little bit of additional context. This isn't merely a situation in which a video game publisher is getting rid of a means to actually acquire and play their game. This isn't a case of if you bought it online, you can at least be rest assured that you will be able to keep it. Sony has a reputation, as well as history, of removing things from people's libraries the moment they become delisted, meaning that you are not able anymore to access that particular content. Now, this has predominantly been when it comes to movies that Sony has sold, yet, let me be clear on this, the capacity for this extending to games is still very much there, and without the option of physical copies, gamers would be left with absolutely zero way to counter this, shy of the courts in any case. And let us also not forget the ever-present drive from major publishers to redefine the very concept of words such as purchase and ownership, as in the games that you purchase you cannot claim ownership over anymore. One would think in that context that the very fact that you no longer are the owner of something that you buy means that you didn't actually buy the thing so much as rented it. Perhaps a rent that lasted for an extended period of time, but a rent very much nevertheless. And one that these major publishers will dishonestly try to market as you buying instead. It is not at all a surprise that Sony would try to do something like this. The issue is that Sony is simply unworthy of the trust that would be required for them to be able to do something like this. Had Sony not an extended history of removing things from people's libraries the moment they get delisted, and had the very concept of purchasing something to own it not been perverted to such an extreme degree that what now constitutes quote-unquote purchasing can more be accurately described as an extended rent, and also for the record, had the ESA not recently announced that running private servers for games like Minecraft is somehow not only a crime, but an example of piracy, had those various factors not been at play, this news would have been relatively minor. But because not one, but instead all of those factors are at play, it is something very much else entirely. What Sony is doing is now an active threat against your ability to play the games that you bought. And more importantly, it is a system that is forced upon you if you actually want to play games on the PlayStation. Ironically enough, piracy would perhaps in that particular context be the only means by which a person who bought a game on PlayStation could be sure that they would actually be able to play it once it gets delisted. And as we've already explored, that is a very distinct possibility when all is said and done. And it is a very distinct possibility due to numerous factors. Factors that the AAA part of the industry has specifically cultivated for a very long time. And the fruits of this labor will be very rotten and exceptionally poisonous indeed to the customer that Sony claims to serve.